All right, so this is week 10, Monday, quarter 3. Radicals assignment number 6. So looking at this right here, don't leave perfect squares inside the radical. And I want to make sure we review what a perfect square is. So label all the perfect squares. What are all the perfect squares? Name it on the side.
Um, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. Oh,
These are all the perfect. Probably you can go all the way until 121, 144, 169, and that's probably low enough because that's 12. This is 13. This is 11. You can stop there. Okay. I think the next one after that is 225, which is 15. I don't know what the 14 is, but it ends with a 6. Anyways. Work. That's awesome. That's exactly. Okay. So, first one, if you think about 50, if you break it down, 25 and 2. Do you see that? Square root 2. Do you see that? You do 5 and 10, which is okay. So if you do 50 on the side right here, 5, break down the 10, 2 and 5. So then remember, they're still in square root. These two are exactly the same, right? You need 2 5s out of the square root. So your answer is still 5 square root 2. Huh? You see that? You need to be able to coming up. Hey, this one, 9 times 2 is the easiest because 9 is a perfect square. So your answer is 3 square root 2. But if you didn't do that, you could do 2. Or actually, you could do 3 times 6, right? For 6, if you do a 3 times 2, then do you see where it repeats? So you could take the 3 out, square root 2. And at the end, are your answers exactly the same? They are the same, right? All right, number 3. 180, if you need to think about what is a perfect square that will give you 180, I know that 9 times 20 will give you 180, correct? But then with the 20, 4 times 5. Do you see that? Square root of 9, square root of 4. Look out. That's going to give you a 3. That's going to give you a 2. But there's already a number on the outside. There's a number 8, right? So you take that 8 times the 2 because those numbers are now 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 3 is going to give you a 48, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it's 48. So your answer is 48. The n you cannot take out. That stays inside. This 5 stays inside. And this is your answer. Do you see that?
repeat your process again. I'm like lost.
180. 9 times 20 is 180, correct? 4 times 5 is 20, correct? Square root of 9, square root of 4 gives me a 2 and a 3, right?
Yeah.
This number's already outside. 8 times 3 times 2 gives me 48. Do you see that? This 5 does not come out. You can't take that out. So that goes back inside. I take out because not an n squared. That stays inside. I'm gonna let this one go. You're gonna have to touch that. Okay, take a look at number 4. 294. If you're not sure in 294, you know it's even. So it's 2 times 1, 4, 7. 7, I might be able to do 3 because 3 times 9 is 27. So then 3 times 4 is 12. So 49. So actually that would work. And so then you put the square root here. Can you take out? 7, right?
Mhm.
That's the only way. But then you got to remember there's an 8 right there and there's a 7, right? You multiply that to get a 56, correct?
Yeah.
What stays inside the square root?
3 and 2.
And also, is there any letters I can take out?
B.
Yeah, I have a 2 times 3, which is a 6. You could take the b out. So it's 56b square root. Does anybody else ask for questions at school in class?
Mm,
Like, how's Noah doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 5. Do you see number 5? This one's perfect. Square root of 16 is just gonna give you a 4, right? Into the 5th power. I want you to take a look at this. Square root of n squared is just n. Do you see that? Square root of n to the 4. You got that is because you need 2 of them. So you just like divide it, correct? Now, if you have n to the 5th power, do you see how if you divide it by 2, you're going to get n squared, right? Because you could take 2 of them out, but then you have an n left. If you're not sure about it, think about it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the square root, right? That as an n. Do you see that? That comes out as an n. N times n is n squared. This one, you can't take out. There's not enough. So that stays inside. Do you see that? You need 2 of the letters. So this one here is going to be, that's 4. 3 times or 7 times 4 is a 28, right? N squared, but one of the n's stays inside. Okay, so give that a try. I'm going to start a moment to kind of catch up. Do some of the questions on your own. I don't know what's happening with my Zoom here. Like, not working. What is happening here? What's going on? I don't know. Feels a little dirty. Give it a try. These are really hard questions, so don't get frustrated. It's not just you.
I want to fucking kill her.
I don't think your questions are hard.
If they're like this, and I'm going to fail.
It's okay.
Fucking hate CUDA software.
I don't know. It's garbage. I'm a bitch. You know that. Okay? We're just gonna do our best to provide that feeling. Okay?
She like wants me to fail.
What?
She wants me to fail.
She doesn't want you to fail. I think everybody else is just trying to hang on. And she's honestly that person. She's a fucking bitch. So, you don't need to worry about her.
Okay.
Mom, can I have ice cream? Thank you.
Can I have one? Can I have one?
That's fun.
Get drink.
Six.
Get drink. Get drink. When you're ready, let me know. So then we can move on. Okay.
I'm gonna open it later.
Can you not open it?
No, my nails are too short.
There you go. Oh, you're such a nice Mad. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Shamar. What is it?
Caramel.
I like caramel.
It's all mine.
Caramel cup.
You can get it out.
Yeah, you got it with caramel cup.
Caramel apples and all.
Hey guys, I got to put our money up here in Ziploc bags
It's one.
for your trip. Do you have your form with you or no form? Yeah, your form. For the trip.
Who took it?
This form?
Yeah.
But this is not a form to write. There's no form for me to sign.
It's there.
I can't. It has to be a specific one. Here. You guys get a teacher. Okay? Are you ready to move on or no?
Mhm.
Yes. This was all right. So, all right. So then, looking at number 6, right? For number 6, there's a 7 on the outside. Let's focus on the number first, right? So you have 192. It's even, right?
Yeah.
You can always use 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 6 is 12. So it's
Yeah.
2 times 96. From there, still even. You always do 2, right?
Mhm.
2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16, right?
Mhm.
48, if you're like, I still don't see which one I could use, you can keep going by 2s. 2 and 24, right? 2 and 12. 2 and 6, right? 2 and 3. Do you see how if I just multiply all of these right here, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, it'll give me 192?
Mhm.
You need 2 of these to take a 2 out, right? A pair of them, correct? Because it's square root. If it's cube root, how many copies do you need to have? 3.
3.
There's another 2 that you took out. Here's another, oops. Here's another 2. How many pairs of 2s can we take out?
4.
No, try again.
6. Yes.
3 2s.
3.
Not 6. It's not 2 times 3. It's 2 times 2 times 2, correct? So it's 7 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? Well, what's 7 times 2 times 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. What's 8 times 7? 56, correct? Now let's take a look at some of the letters. M to the 4th. What's square root of M to the 4th?
To the m squared.
Good. What's the square root of n to the 3rd? What's square root of n to the 3rd?
N.
And then what? Not getting this. Look over here. 1, 2, 3, correct?
Mhm.
How many n's do you need to take it out?
3.
No, it's square root. Square means 2. Cube root means 3. This is still a square root. Do you see the square root right there? I could take those two out, and it becomes an n right there. Do you see that?
Yes.
But then what do you do with this n right there? You put it back in there. Do you see that? Do you not see that? Yes, no?
Yeah.
We just did this right here with this n right here. Well, didn't we do that with n to the fifth power? Any odd number or any odd power, you're going to have a letter back inside the square root. Do you understand that?
Mhm.
So far, we have m squared out, 1n, and then an n on the inside, correct? P to the fourth. What is that going to equal to?
P squared.
There you go. This right here is your answer, but I'm missing something. You see the 3 right here?
Mhm.
That still needs to go back inside there. Forgot that. Do you see that?
Mhm.
That's your answer.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pause this right now. I want you to take a moment. All right, so that's how you simplify radicals, okay?
Mhm.
So now we're going to go on to adding and subtracting. When you're adding or subtracting radicals, this is the notes. Did she even write down notes for you guys?
No.
Ridiculous. Okay, this is how it works. If you have, let's say, 4a plus 5a plus 2d, do you see the difference there? They have to have the same numbers inside the radical in order for you to combine the coefficient. You can combine these two together, which be a 9 square root a plus 2 square root d. Do you see that? Take a look over here. Do you have the same number? Can you combine?
Yes.
I'm going to put combine question mark. So what's your answer?
Eight radical 6.
No. Where did that change?
Oh,
What's your answer?
probably 8 radical 3.
Okay. Number 8. Okay. Take a look over here. Can we combine?
Yes.
Negative 4 plus 2 is
It's -2.
square root 8. Can you simplify the 8? Can you break it down?
Yes.
So break it down.
So -2 or -2 radical.
This
2.
part becomes a 2, right? Negative 2 times 2 is a, and it's on the outside. Do you see that? Okay, so make the changes there. But this 2 stays on the inside.
Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it -4 again?
8 becomes a 4, right? Times 2. What's the square root of 4? Square root of 4. Square root of 4 equals what? 2. 2 times -2, you gotta multiply it. Do you see that? Which is -4. And that 2 is the square root of 2. Okay, number 9. Are you able to combine?
Yes.
Can I simplify the 7?
Uh,
Is that the square root? Nope, so just 2 thousands.
Okay.
Number 10. Can you combine? What's your coefficient? The numbers in front of this radical.
Between -1.
Yeah, but when you combine it, what do you get? Really? It's 2 minus 4.
Sorry.
Okay. Can you simplify the square root? Okay. Number 11. What's inside the square root?
20.
Can you simplify that?
Yes.
Let's simplify at the very end. Can you combine it?
Yes.
Okay, what are we going to combine? -3, -3, +2. If you're not sure, just do -3 minus 3 plus 2. Just write it on the side. Good. -4 square root 20. Can I simplify the square root? What can I break it down to? Break it down. Good. When you get the answer, let me know. Okay, so that concludes the adding and subtracting part, right? Oh gosh. Next, what's going to happen is multiplication. You're certain to have she didn't go over any of the rules with you guys? It's fucking ridiculous. Multiplying and dividing radicals. Make sure you write that on the side. If you're multiplying radicals, multiply inside, then simplify. It's actually not that difficult. You just multiply the inside, and if they're not the same, it's okay. So like square root of A times square root of B, even though they're not the same, right? Because you're multiplying, they don't need to be the same. You just do A times B, like that. And then after this, you simplify it. See if you can reduce it. Does that make sense? Dividing radicals, this one you need to pay attention. Okay? If you have 4 square root 3, the rule is no radical in denominator. Do you remember how we went over this in one of the questions she gave you? That was really bad because that was on a word question, and really she should have given you this first to practice and then introduce the word question, the word column. So what do you do here? You multiply square root of 3 top and bottom because this part right here is really 1. You can always multiply anything by 1. Do you see that? So now let's simplify that. When you do this, what happens here? What is square root of 3 times square root of 3? What? It's square root of 9, but what is it? Do you see how they're like 2 of a kind? So it's just that number inside the radical. What's on top?
4 radical 3.
Yeah, and do you have a square root in the denominator? No, because it's done. That's how you get rid of the square root. Okay, all right, let's go over this. Number 12. What's 5 times 8? Now, simplify that. So I'm gonna have you do some discovering on your own. I have the answer for the first 3 questions box. So you go ahead and you figure it out. Do you understand? 12, 13, 14.
12. No, I don't think so.
Okay, fine. Let's take a look at number 15. So take a look at number 15. This is now division, correct? With division, this is going to be a little bit more complicated. The reason for that is because you have to simplify the numerator and denominator first, okay? At the top, there's nothing I can do. I can't simplify anything inside the square root of 5, right? The 80 I can, however. I could do 4 times 20, right? 4 times 5. What is that going to give me?
Okay.
It's 8 square root of 5. See if I'm able to get to that.
Yeah, I see why.
Okay. Now, do I have a square root in the denominator? Yes. How do I get rid of it?
Okay, so I make both the numerator and denominator square root of 5.
Yeah. So multiply it. Okay. You know this is going to be a 4, right?
Yeah.
So 3 square root of 4 over 4. You can't do anything. That's it. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. No, yes, you can. Just kidding. Sorry. The square root of 4 on top becomes a 2, right? Right? 3 times 2 is 6 over 4. You reduce it, it's 3 over 2. So take a moment and soak that in. It's okay if you made a mistake.
I thought it was like 2 4s.
It's okay. Okay, so then let's go to number 17. Do you see how the square root of 64 is going to give you an 8? Okay, so that's going to give you an 8, right? So 3 times 8 is going to give you a 24 on the bottom, right? Okay, then you have the square root of 12. You could do this one on the side. That's 4 times 3, correct? Which is the same thing as 2 square root of 3, right? So put 2 square root of 3. Now, bottom, there's no square root, which is great, but I can reduce the coefficients. Do you see how this part becomes a 1 over 12? So your answer is 1 times square root of 3, which is just square root of 3 over 12. Does that make sense? So soak that in. Square root of 12 becomes 4 and 3. Do you see that? Square root of 4 is a 2. Do you see that? 3 you can't take out. It stays inside.
Could it be simplified like more? Like
No, you can't. Here's the reason why.